Uh-oh. Oi, oi, oi. InShalla and Ashe. I just love saying that out loud. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. Being mindful of our heart today, just acknowledging what we are thinking within our heart space. You know, my heart thinks that the adversity to humanity will be returned to source. You know, just allowing source to take care of all those infinite details. I literally dreamt of putting symbols all over my sheds. The original language, the signs and the symbols, the symbologies, just expanding and receiving through our heart space. It's as if the universe is opening the gate, offering us the juice for life today. So with that, welcome to today's Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic Sha'medium, shamanism and mediumship, and a subtle energetic surgeon. My thing is to merge these indigenous technologies, the spirit of the Dagar tribe, my mentor and friend, Malidoma, the ancestor that he is, with the subtle energies, elements, and elemental beings. So for me, it's basically the elemental realm into the imaginal realm with offerings, rituals, and prescriptions to add to your personal container, the ingredients, your own superpower, your super juice. But truly, my intention is to merge these indigenous technologies with the subtle realms and the etheric highway, my dwelling ground, to really assist you into navigating your prime directive, your inner genius, just the magical being that resides within each and every one of us, really. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room, Ashe. So if you haven't already, please be kind and do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tonya D. Hit the bell button so you're notified when I go live. And also, if you don't mind, like my videos so the YouTube algorithm will echo me out to like-minded musers out into the galactic universe on the earth plane, along with other social media channels like Instagram, TikTok, and my podcast, Musing with Tonya D, super juicy there. But being that I naturally go on shamanic journeys, being in the world and of the world and not in it simultaneously, it might seem strange to the normal human being or person, but it's my everyday realm. It's just a natural playground for me. The moment when you are hyper aware of your surroundings in this continuum of holding space, moving timelines or threading for that matter. But today, the messages are from the Shaman Oracle, the mystics to me, in its origin, the original. So we are really in need of to be the beings that go back to the original, the beings that left the original. So for those of you that have stayed with the origin, I salute you, actually, with that. But the messages coming in, so this is coming in from the southern direction, that which we need to let go of, the thing that needs to be shed. So it's the arrow. It actually reminds me, Malidoma had a story about an ancestor that utilized the arrow. I believe it was his grandfather. Yes. Anyway, this arrow, it was just a magical, mystical arrow, but it was very real. And our dimension, I would read his book if you're interested, or about the arrow. But it's the symbol to remind us that when we are in alignment with our heart and our soul channels, that we are literally on target. We are hitting the mark, being true to our calling and releasing the attachments and freeing ourselves from bondage or this crazy ambition that kind of gets put on our soul story. So it's being revealed to us at the moment in which our intention meets the material world. So this arrow symbolizes the need to set our creativity free. And when the arrow flings through the air, it's inviting us to pay attention. It's kind of a signal, or it signifies that we are about to make the mark, hit the bullseye, if you will, in some aspect of our life. It's going to illuminate the moment of contact when we know what that desire is, our heart's desire. Our intentions have like traveled along the wind and just landed in the perfect space and place for ultimately our highest good. So just trust that your job is to be done. It's relaxed, but yet focused, but at the same time, keeping your eye on the prize. and releasing our intention with the full expectation that it's going to land where it's supposed to land. And a lot of times, we worry about the how or the form of it, the exact form, but it's not in the how. I've been talking about the dream weaver and the dreams and the how on my Sunday show in my musing corridor, my musing with Tonya D. But there's not the time to interfere with the how it's going to happen, or worry about how the arrow is going to fly. It's going to make its mark, hit its mark, and that is like the cause to celebrate. Celebrate the winds of change, if you will. The arrow is directing us where we should be. And then what we have to the west, after we hit the mark and celebrate, we go to the west. This is an aspect of us that needs to die, the old story that needs to be let go of, so that we may find a new meaningful story of our lives, a new point of view, a new perspective. So the essence of flow, just knowing that there is a natural movement of moments and life events out into the world, we can actually kind of see all of this magical phenomena. We've got the moon, we've got the tides, we have the ebb and the flow of the oceans and the rivers and things that just bubble up from the earth and then kind of flow out into the galactic sea. So the symbol of flow really represents effortlessness, just the natural movement towards a destination, being in the flow. It really kind of signifies or channels the ability to gracefully move around obstacles. A water person just flows. So it's kind of reminding us of a sense of just allowing. But what else I found curious is that it's card 20. So it's a message to trust our feelings as well. So the 0 is a placeholder for our feelings, which is the 2. And being that it's otherworldly, the medicine, it's like not trying to push up against the river. It's like what we resist persists, or trying to be like a salmon and swim upstream against the flow. So we can just trust that the time is right. That's the 0. And that our dreams will begin to take shape and form. And we're going to be invited to dance with our destiny right now, however that is. But the message is also to relax. So it's not the time to bang on doors that refuse to be open. Whatever adversity or obstacles in front of you right now, just trust that it's in the highest good. It's an opportunity to reconsider our choices and regroup, and just trust that our intentions are going to take form, take shape in time. So just kind of consider this time a gift, the gift of letting go of the old and creating the new, if you will, to get us into the flow. We don't need to resist, otherwise it will persist. And to the north, there we go. We have the message from corn once again, that's coming in. But it's the wisdom that we need to acquire that we already have. We've learned the lessons from the south and the west. So it's the wisdom of maturity. It's a great medicine, and it's time to hug and embrace that medicine. So what are those treasures that are so deeply buried inside of us that are like bubbling through like that flow and becoming available to us and through us? That's like the gift. And corn also being card number 10, that is to love and also to trust. It represents the mother of sustenance, trusting the earth mother, if you will. It's abundance that's tangible. It's having enough. It's a symbol that represents material prosperity in the physical world, a form that kind of gives us the foundation, the stability. It's the variety, the many, like having abundance, sustenance, really. Just knowing that there is always more than enough, and knowing that we've already planted our beautiful field, our field of dreams. We've worked hard. So even in moments, sometimes when we lose faith, right, we've continued on the journey. This too shall pass. So the spirit of corn, that comes to honor this message. It's this bountiful harvest. It kind of reminds me of the Wizard of Oz when we've got the scarecrow and the corn. But this is a time to really reap the rewards of hard work and trust. And it doesn't matter if the rewards are financial or, measuring what our prosperity is, but it's more about quality rather than quantity. So just knowing that we're all being blessed when this symbol appears, and not forgetting to share our fortune, our blessings with the other. as well, which I think a lot of people should be doing more of, right? An attitude of gratitude. And then we have the spiral, which I love. This is coming in from the east. It's the card 50. So that is also another placeholder, being mindful of what we trust, or trusting our mind, or trusting the mind and our thoughts, you know. I really say question everything, maybe, and just representing our possible destiny, the way that we are going to share our treasures and our gifts out into the world and to the other. So it's like from the galactic frontier out in the sky and to the little shells spinning on the beach. The spiral is found all over the natural world, and its shape, it's the form of like the coiled serpent, if you will. It's been around since ancient times, medieval times. I can see like the druids, the pagans, the shamans, to me it's the origin of language. It's a tool for growth, it's transformation. So the spiral is kind of a guide for entering into a deep state of consciousness and into the unknown, and the extending far out into the galactic heavens, into the universe. But it's also, you know, it's we need to surrender. That's an aspect of the journey that's crucial to this prospect. And that is Sir Diddy wanting to be part of the spiral. Hi, love. So this journey, it's exhausted in a way, but it's dissolving of the paradigm into the depths of our psyche, whatever that looks like. So it's this energy that needs to be released and birthing to a new reality. But being that it's otherworldly, there's a medicine about it. So the spiral is kind of announcing for us to descend into the depths, and also to be the rise of the phoenix for the rebirth, and just allowing nothing to get in the way of the process, because the time is right. And the forces of nature, they're supporting us in this endeavor. So it's like using stones and twigs and yarn and building a spiral on the ground. Make sure it's big enough to walk on through, where you can go in 3 turns around the spiral, entering it slowly, kind of the push and the pull. And once you're in the center, become centered and offer to the earth the feelings or the situations that you really no longer want in your life. They no longer belong. And as you walk back, the way that you entered, feel recharged for the new journey. So it's like a ritual, and an offering is actually being called for as well. So that's also curious to climb into our skin, right? And then I pulled this for Rose Jacky. I'm not sure what your comment was about. However, I see you. I hear you. So this is like an opening. It's a window into a new direction. A new understanding, if you will, absolutely, or even a confirmation about what you may already feel that you know, but you need more certainty about it. So the message for you today is the giveaway. The giveaway is the gift that you are offered to life without attachment, without expecting anything back. You know, we can only give what is truly ours, you know, and that could be something simple like a smile, opening the door, encouragement, a congratulations, a kindness with our thoughts and our words. So this is not the giving of what we no longer want, like things that we no longer use or value or fit. But this is a giving of our authentic self, our authentic love, our genuine feelings, if you will. And it's an invitation here for you to list like 10 things or 10 people, things that you are grateful for, just connecting with a feeling of gratitude. So the giveaway comes to ask us to feel that same gratitude in essence, without needing anything or anyone to inspire the gratitude, and just sharing gratitude with everyone that you meet, and along with offering thanks. So it's when our heart opens that we realize, or start realize, how much life truly has given to us, the opportunities. So we heal our feelings of scarcity and open ourselves to abundance that is always around us. So the giveaway really is an invitation for us to be in the flow. As we give freely, we also open up to receive freely the other side of that coin. So that's super exciting and juicy as well. And then on the elemental highway, we have a young fire of a day, a young fire dragon of a day. So if there's any dragons out there, but it's a Bing Chen of a day. So at the hour of the rabbit, we're going to have what's known as a wood directional frame, the east. So I would really pay attention to the message of the spiral, how that all plays out, right? But although we have all those tigers and they're supportive, our day still isn't very warm. We're still in transition between winter and spring. So our day, that yang fire, is kind of has an average strength. And yang water right next to it, that's actually very useful for the fire, to soothe the fire, if you will, because it's born in the month of the tiger. So it has this ability to reflect the sun. Yang fire is the sun, it's the light, but it also increases the effect of the sun. So it's like painting a sentimental picture, if you will, the horizon, the future, right? So water, the yang water, it's really not too strong. Otherwise, it's going to gain a lot of control for our day's energy or over the day. And if it does that, then we need some yang earth that's needed to control, give that yang water direction, if you will, a pathway. So yang metal, which there's none here today, that is actually very useful to produce more of the water. And it's also needed to reflect the sun, the yang fire. So that's kind of how these elementals play out. And the tigers, that yang wood, because tigers are yang wood, they're going to provide support for our day. They are support for yang fire. They're the same yang energy there. And yin earth, that's actually a good quality. That's actually going to be what's known as the Achilles heel for our day, for the yang fire, due to the ability for it to suck the life out of our day, the light, and give nothing back in return. So metal shouldn't be overwhelming, but there isn't any in our chart. So yin water also is not very useful because it can cover the sun, the yang fire, kind of like a cloud, reducing its ability to shine its light. So the yin water that we don't have, but that can't really, it can't replace the yang water because it can't do the job, if you will, to reflect the light of our day. And that really is, the yang fire is the sun. It's the beacon. It's our heart. It's our core essence. So we don't have any metal element, none hidden. There's none in storage. It'll come in the hour of metal, which was actually early this morning, but it's not able to control or use our nature, the tigers. So if it was available, it would be damaged anyway, and it's not going to be useful because the nature element, the wood, remains uncontrolled still. So we need some stimulating or some bringing in of the metal or mineral element that's needed to bring balance to our day. So wet earth, there's different earth philosophies, just because it's a transitional. But wet earth would also be useful because it can produce the metal and exhaust the wood element, kind of refine it. And our tigers don't have any output. They're kind of unable to perform, if you will. Even though they're strong, the fire itself isn't able to burn it. So we even need more fire to bring warmth to our day. And the tigers are draining the element of water, the heavenly stems right above them. But again, they still don't have any roots. They don't have any footing or grounding, if you will. They're not rooted. So metal really is the element of the day, and seeing the world, what's happening in our outer world outside of us sometimes. So we need better leadership, management, creating metal jewelry, automobiles, the fire and the metal, the balance of the two. Air also, it's words, it's community. It's the village, a community, is there imbalance in the tribe? I would say yes, these are just kind of some musings or questions to ask yourself. So we've got this balance between the algorithm of our processor, the in-body downloads, and utilizing our intuitive assets, our logical intel, one or the other, kind of balancing the two out into the realm of spirit. Maybe you have more of a profound intuitive hit today. The download kind of forms in our subconscious. So it's like, what is it that you perceive through the download, or what are those thoughts? Are you going to tune into your intuitive channel or your logical intel? We've got some options going on. But truly, it's the heart, the queen of our subtle realm. What does the queen belong thinking about? Is it the logical or the unimaginable? So I would say go with the flow of our thoughts. It's like, are you attracted to that thought or are you attracted to this thought? And where is the divine in all of this? Are you connected to the divine's inspiration, the dive intuity, spiritual perspective on our life and our day-to-day world and our reality? So what is your spirit to do in this realm? What is your inner genius? So this is like the voices of the other world, or uncovering secrets of the other world, or changing your stars. These are assets in my corridor. There's different offerings to set the stage of your juicy life. And the door is open to these new spiritual futures. It's the Merlin effect. Or how or where do you see the future manifesting, your future manifesting? Or what is it that you do want to manifest into your future? So the key to access this is really transformation in our spiritual point of view. So if it's a frequential match to our heart, there we got syncing there, the resonance, that's the key to our desire, the desire of the heart. So if your mind does take you down the rabbit hole, you got to flick that shift aside, literally flip the switch to your soul story. So where is the soul taking the ship, if you will? So kind of muse about that with me, just leaving the old spiritual highway, that old way of living life, and of elevating to our spiritual story, just leaving behind the karmic legacy, if you will, the ideas around karma, and just upcycling to a new spiritual perspective, like the eye of the universe. So all things truly are possible when we are the ones that are unlimiting ourselves. Stay curious, question everything, really take things to the limit, kind of pushing ourselves into a new paradigm. Maybe, for me, it's like going to the original, the origin, our divine blueprint. So the power might be tested as well out into the world. It's like, is this possible? It's time to enter into a new possibility of creating a new foundation. We are in a year of transformation. We have a tiger on the year, getting in the flow with that water. So the old is going to be transformed. That's Pluto. The old system, the old ways, the old power structures. We've been watching this for a while, but there's no need to fear. Go to the rivers, get in the flow, face the mental fears, the mental clarity, the mental acumen, if you will. So things of the mental program are being mindful of our feelings. So my moon is really in the degree to just do that. So when I emote, I need to trust my feelings and also be mindful of what my intuitive channel is saying. And so it's like this spirit to soul and soul to spirit kind of meeting between space and time. And the moon, the goddess herself, being in Aries, it's like acting on our emotions or our feelings, but also trusting the feeling before you act on it. So we have this kind of cause and effect between karma, whether it's good karma or bad karma, and just feeling into those waves intuitively or logically, think differently. So these old spiritual highways, these old ways of thinking, with our mental clarity online, that's our solar plexus. So we could actually utilize our thoughts to be more self-confident, self-opening to spirit, and just listening what our heart belongs with. It's like creating this outside shape, this form that takes adding a new piece or a flavor to our puzzle. And our heart, our beacon knows, So really be mindful of what your heart is feeling and stick to your heartfelt ideas and go to those original streams, those thought forms. So it's like the colors of yellow, I think of sunflowers. I kind of want to go buy some. Metal, the sound of Sammy the snake for metal, to get into making better decisions, right? So it's like, are you being mindful of where your heart belongs? It really is a day to take in and hug yourself, embrace the universe, and just taking us to this elevated perspective in our spiritual dimension. So I would really affirm and connect with spirit in doing so, that I am being mindful of where my heart does and does not belong in these threads of my thoughts and my thinking, and just allowing the universe to be the beacon that guides us, connecting with the universe. So with that, thanks for tuning in. And as always, I will see you on the other side. InShalla and Ashe. Blessings always.